In this video, I'm going to show you a technique to make your bind off on in the round pieces seamless. So here I've bound off my little swatch that I did in the round, and it's the standard bind off, and I've got the last stitch here on the needle. I'm just going to pull that loop up big so I don't accidentally pull it out, and then cut a nice long tail. Then with the darning needle, we're going to thread that tail into the darning needle. And we're going to finish this off by sewing it a special way. So here's the last loop from my bind off. You bring the needle up through that loop from the back to the front and pull it down, but don't pull it real tight. Then find your first bind off stitch. So here's the last bind off stitch on this side. Then you have this little gap here. And then on this side, you have this is the first bind off stitch, the second one, the third one. They look like kind of sideways teardrops. We're going to take the darning needle under the two legs of the top of that first bind off stitch. So under those two legs, just like that. And then toward the back. So then this is what it looks like. We kind of have half a stitch finished there. We're going to come back around and put the needle back down through the last stitch where the yarn is coming out. So it'll go back down through here. So if I loosen these things up, you can see here's the last bind off loop. And I brought the tail up through it. That's this long strand here. I brought the tail under the two legs of the first bind off stitch. And now we're going to come back around and put the darning needle back down through the last bind off stitch in the same place that our tail is coming out of it. Right there. And what that does is with your darning needle, you have basically made another, what looks like a bind off stitch. Now I have it really loose. I'm going to pull it tighter. I'm going to start by pulling the first leg of this a little bit tighter to tighten down my last bind off stitch so that it matches the tension of the rest of the bind off stitches, and then pull this tighter. Just like that. And now I will sew my tail in just like I normally would, but for now I'm just going to bury it down in here to show you what the final result looks like. And this is a little bit tighter right here, so I might pick at it with my darning needle or my fingernails a little bit to loosen it up. Might tighten that up a little bit, but once you get the tension right, that makes a perfectly seamless bind off in the round.